Hi, hi everyone. Welcome to the Leeward Community College and UH Mnoa KAE Transfer Tuesday series. My name is Laurie Labarios and I'm one of the counselors at Leeward. And I'm just gonna quickly go around and introduce Amy McKee. She's a UH Mnoa transfer specialist, and Jordan Luton, who will come on board soon. We're so happy to have you here. I would like to also just maybe you can switch the slide, Amy. That the agenda for today is we're very honored to have Alyssa Capaona from the College of Education to share about their college, and also Dr. Candice Fujikane from the English department. She's the director for the undergraduate English department. And so we're going to start with Alyssa, and there's always going to be an opportunity for you to do a Q&A or type your question in the chat, and we'll get to it towards the end. And about halfway through, we're going to switch over to Dr. Candice Fujikane. You're welcome to stay for both sessions if you want. The next slide.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. On behalf of the University of Hawaii at Manoa, we just want to say welcome and share with you a little bit more information about UH Manoa. So UH Manoa was founded in 1907 and is considered a land, sea, space, and sun grant institution. We offer over 100 undergraduate majors for you to choose from, as well as graduate and professional programs, including law, medicine, business, social work, education, and engineering. We are an NCAA Division I school. We are highly ranked as a Research 1 institution, and we also strive to be a Native Hawaiian place of learning. To help you make that smooth transition to UH Manoa, we highly encourage you to consider joining the KAE Program. The KAE Program is a partnership between UH Manoa and the UH Community Colleges, and it provides students with proactive academic advising to help make sure that you are sailing towards Manoa very smoothly and efficiently. We also provide some benefits, including waiving the application fee to UH Manoa and providing students with early registration when they transfer to Manoa. And you can also have the opportunity to take a class at Manoa while you're still at the community college. To be eligible to join the program, students do need to have at least 24 transferable credits, either completed or in progress, a 2.0 GPA, and have at least one more semester remaining at the community college. If you would like to have more information about the KAE program, please let me know in the chat. I'll be happy to send more information your way.
I'm going to go ahead and transition to Candice. Candice is from UH Manoa, the English department, and she's the undergraduate director for that department. Thank you, Candice.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and I'm just really happy to be able to speak, have this chance to speak with community college transfer students. I'm always really happy when you come and see me, usually and during my office hours, but now over Zoom to declare English as your major. And I know that for some people, it's a little bit, it's kind of anxiety producing to be transferring. And, my son is going to Windward Community College, and I know he's a little bit nervous about transferring to UH. And I keep telling him that's okay. It's the same. You just keep doing your work. You just do your best. And it's not, very much different. I mean, you have your assignments and you just have to complete your assignments. And under COVID, it's been, I know, especially difficult for students to be attending classes or watching recordings of lectures. But, I keep encouraging my students in my classes, just hang in there. Yeah. So I do have a PowerPoint, and let's see, I could introduce myself a little. So I'm from Maui. I went to Baldwin High School. I got my BA from the University of Hawaii, and I went away to Berkeley for my PhD, and I came back. And I am just so grateful to have a job here. I was hoping, you never know when you go away for school whether you'll be able to get hired back here. And I was just very, very grateful because I actually work with the literatures of Hawaii. So I teach courses on literatures by Filipinos, Chinese, Japanese, and I teach actually mo'olelo. I can olelo a little bit, small kind. And so this is where my work is. And you'll find that a lot of the professors in the English department are from Hawaii, and we do have a particular emphasis on our location in Hawaii and the Pacific. So I'm going to share screen with you. I do have a PowerPoint, and I'm going to talk a little bit about my PowerPoint, and please be sure to ask questions in the chat. I'll have my chat box open and try to catch your questions. But I'm the director of the undergraduate program in English, and Valerie June is the assistant director of the um, undergraduate and graduate program in English. So she actually knows the programs pretty much better than anybody. So she's the one who will do all the transfer evaluations, and there's no problem with the community college transferring of credits. But if you need to see her, she's also very knowledgeable about the program. And a little bit about this question, why major in English? And we've actually seen a lot of students in the past couple decades kind of rushing to STEM, rushing to the sciences because they've been told that all the jobs are in the sciences. But I want to alert you to something very important, and that is the sciences are important, especially as we're facing climate change. But there are important reasons why we need to continue to teach English. And one of them is that as we read about people's experiences and learn from others, we become better, more compassionate and ethical human beings. So that would be for me the core reason why I'm so passionate about teaching literature and writing. I also wanted to point out that writing is a highly valued skill in life, and communication is valued in all careers. So I'm going to point to an example in terms of like how English majors measure up to STEM majors when they graduate from college, okay? And also, we all love reading stories. And what's important is that successful communication has to do with how well you can tell a story. Okay, so these are 3 reasons to major in English, but I'm also going to go into other things like job opportunities and the kinds of jobs that our English majors are getting. But I think these are important. I think these are really important things. So here's an example, and let me just try to move my screen here, there. So English provides, this is actually from the Washington Post, and this was just last year. They talk about how English provides an important foundation for for managerial and administrative positions. So while STEM majors have high starting salaries, mid-career salaries are highest for liberal arts majors who enter into management and administrative positions. And again, this has to do with how well we tell stories, how well we make connections between events in our lives. So for econ majors, they were finding in this Washington Post article that econ majors can study the trends, but it's how you interpret the trends and how you explain what's actually happening in the real world that's also valuable. And that's a skill we learn as English majors. And so this is an article that, you know, sort of affirms the importance of majoring in English. Okay, and then I'm gonna move to, oops, okay. Why am I not, I have something going on and I'm not sure what's going on here. Okay, I can't see. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. Let me try to do that again. I'm not sure why I'm not able to turn my page. Oh, okay, something is up. What is up here? What is my technical difficulty?
Hey Candice, do you want to try to click the, there's that little arrow in the bottom left-hand corner? Does that work?
Oh, okay, try that one. This one. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
Never had that problem before. Okay, so so these are some career opportunities for English majors, and I'm really glad that Alyssa talked about education because education is so important. And as she mentioned, the PBCSE is the post-baccalaureate certificate in secondary education is the additional step you would take. So while English offers you like a very broad kind of entry point into the workforce, getting the PBCSE will license you to teach in the public schools. So we have education, college, secondary, primary, preschool levels, adult education, tutoring, educational administration, teaching English as a second language. And actually what's really popular for our English majors is teaching English abroad. So going to China to teach English or going to Japan or Korea to teach English, that allows students or former students to get an education in traveling and living in different places, as well as a job in teaching English. We have information and research jobs with as librarians, information broker, which I think is a really interesting title, museum studies specialist, mixed media curator, cartographers. So I'm actually, my subfield is cartography in the sense that I read maps as narratives. So I just finished writing a book that really focuses a lot on how we read different maps. That's maps that are produced both by the state and by Kanaka Maoli activists and by other activists, environmental activists in Hawaii. In terms of writing, there are journalists. We actually have a lot of people who want to go into journalism, but they've chosen to go into English instead of the journalism department. We have creative writers, technical writers, grant writers, screenwriters, and actually there's interesting crossover between our department and the ACM department where they have a screenwriting course. We don't actually have a screenwriting course. So some of our students are taking classes if they can through ACM. Book reviewers, scholarly writers. In media, there's website development, advertising, public relations, television, there's creative directors and cinematic production. A lot of actually interesting directing positions where you get to be the director. For example, nonprofit organizations often hire people who majored in English because you have to do a lot of communication and work with people in the community. Now, somehow I have lost my cursor. Oh, there, okay, not quite ready to go yet, but I'm actually trying to move this screen. How is it that I lost my cursor? Okay, so maybe I need a little more technical skills. I'm gonna go back one more time. Graduate and professional schools, we have a lot of graduate students in English. And yeah, I don't have my cursor anymore. Is that weird? Okay, I've never had this kind of problem. Okay, before. Okay, well that's okay. I'm gonna move on. So these are students who found jobs, like Brandon Gallerita, very interesting jobs in different sectors. So Brandon Gallerita is an 8th grade English teacher. Ciara Chiamo is now in law school. So a lot of people who want to go into law major in English because we have a lot of rhetoric classes, and rhetoric classes teach you how to make effective arguments for different audiences. So you could take more rhetoric classes. Agatha Dunlapin is the KHON digital content editor, and another one of our former majors, Jennifer Wong, is actually the news producer at Hawaii News Now. Veronica Freeman is an editor for highereducation.com. So we have just a range of different areas people are getting jobs in. And we do have what's specific to our program is we have a fabulous internship course. So English 495 is an internship course. For 3 credits, you would intern 8 to 12 hours a week, and these are the organizations, the partner organizations we work with. So we work with public relations firms like Becker Communications, and we were so excited because Zach Chan was actually interning with Becker Communications last spring. They loved him so much they offered him a job. So he graduated in spring, and in the summer he started full-time with Becker Communications. So one really great story there. Nella New Media Group, which puts out Flux magazine. Flux is such a gorgeous publication, and they have really meaningful stories about, say, the military in Hawaii or kalo restoration in Hawaii. Pacific New Media Foundation, Honolulu Publishing, Hawaii Athletics Media Relations. There are a lot of professional editing opportunities, and we offer professional editing courses with Mānoa Journal, Tinfish Press, Honolulu Magazine, and Modern Luxury Hawaii. Publication opportunities. So Hawaii Home and Remodeling is actually a really cool magazine, and they allow students the opportunity to publish articles on interior design and on trends. And so our last intern, Maya, and I'm forgetting her last name, but Maya was able to publish articles in Hawaii Home and Remodeling. Kaleo newspaper for journalistic kind of experiences. And we have literacy programs that you can work with, the Hawaii Literacy Program and the Hawaii Language Roadblock Initiative. We also have a lot of students who gravitate towards events coordination. So we have the Hawaii Book and Music Festival event and the Hawaii Children's Literature Conference. And we also have a digital humanities project. So this is also another very important kind of trend in literary studies, and that is the digital humanities. So this one is particularly for Native Hawaiian studies, students interested in Native Hawaiian studies. And if you can Olelo Hawaii, this is a really great project to work with, where they're actually digitizing Mo'olelo and other stories from the newspapers. So about our department, we have almost 200 majors and approximately 50 minors. Our classes are small, and that's why they're great, because you get to work closely with your professors who will provide you with more detailed comments on your papers in a class of 20 or less. You have an assigned faculty advisor. So when you come to see me to declare English as your major, I will assign you to a faculty member who will help you through the major. You'll see your faculty advisor before registration every semester in November and in April. So this is a really nice way to kind of grow your relationships with faculty in our department. So if you're interested in creative writing, I would assign you to a creative writing faculty member. If you tell us you're interested in law, I would assign you to someone like Professor John Gagnon, who was actually formerly a lawyer and attorney. And so we have a lot of great faculty that you can work with who have experiences that you can draw from. We offer the BA, MA, and PhD. And for very, very motivated students, we have a combined BA and MA program. It's called the BAM program. And that allows you to complete both the BA and MA in 5 years. So normally it would take you 6 years to complete those two programs. This one, it would be 3 credits less because, 9 credits, 3 courses less, 9 credits less to complete the combined program. So some students who are very motivated, they want an MA very quickly. You have to be motivated to do this. There's one semester where you're asked to take 3 graduate courses and a 400 level course. And for me, that's doable. Like, I think you can do that because you could take the 400 level modern English grammar course with 3 graduate courses. I think that's doable, but it is work. Yeah. Um, we foreground, okay, so another strength of our department is that we really take seriously the fact that we are a land grant institution and we do have responsibilities to really this place, right? Hawaii as a place. And so in our English 320 course, which is the Introduction to English Studies course, a course all English majors must take, the instructors are required to teach a Hawaiian or a Pacific text, which is really nice because then you see how Hawaii and Pacific texts work within the field of English studies. Of our 5 breadth of field areas, which include creative writing, composition and rhetoric, genre, literature and culture, is the 5th field, Hawaii Pacific Literature. So it's recognized as an area of importance in our department. And we are very lucky to have great professors who teach courses in Hawaii and Pacific Literature. Ku'aloha ho'omanawa nui, Joyce Pualani Warren. I teach the ethnic literatures of Hawaii class, and Craig Howells, who actually, Craig Howells, he's not Kanaka, but he's taken so many Hawaiian language courses. He's very good. He's very fluent in Olelo Hawaii. And they all teach courses in Hawaii and the Pacific. Our creative writing professors, so creative writing is also a very popular field in the English department. And our creative writing professors also specialize in Hawaii and the Pacific. So professors No'uru Vilya, Craig Santos Perez, and Laurel Fantauzzo. There are some professors, as well as we have graduate students who also sometimes teach creative writing courses and who specialize in Hawaii and the Pacific. Okay, and so I just wanted to highlight a couple of courses that might be interesting to you. We have very exciting courses like English 307, which teaches you skills in digital media, digital new media, video editing, web comic production, and podcast creation. And so if you want to be a composer of digital content, this is a course that Professor Darren Payne teaches, where you learn how to do all of these things for jobs in public relations, journalism, business, and marketing. So this is just one example of the many courses we offer in the English department. And this is a kind of overview of some of the courses in specific pathways. So we have a creative writing pathway, and these are some of the courses we offer: autobiographical writing, creative writing, and we have poetry workshops and nonfiction writing, fiction workshop. We have composition and rhetoric courses for students interested in teaching. Rhetoric, composition, and computers, teaching and digital media. And we also have literatures of diverse courses. So we do have an African American literature specialist. Ku'aloha ho'omanawa nui is a Native Hawaiian literature specialist. Pualani Warren is our Pacific literature specialist. Ruth Shu and I both teach Asian American literature. And Ku'aloha and I teach the literatures of Hawaii class, although sometimes other people teach that class as well. We also have a range of literature courses, everything from medieval British literature to gender, sexuality and literature, children's literature. And now I'm really excited about this literature and environment course. I'd love to teach that because so many of the mo'olelo that we read are really about climate change. So the first fish ponds, there's a story of Kualakai and Aiai. Some people pronounce his name Aiai, but it's Aiai. The family prefers the pronunciation Aiai. They actually, they have a story about the Ku'ula and the first fish pond. And that is a response to changing climate events, lessening water supplies, and the importance of preserving and conserving the fishing practices, yeah? Conservation fishing practices. We also have professionalization courses, teaching composition, professional editing, the internship course. So we have a lot of opportunities for you to expand in different directions. So sometimes people come into the program not sure what they want to do. So they take a couple of different courses and then they start developing more of a specialization. But it's not necessary, you know, to have a specialization. This is what the English major looks like. It's 11 courses at the 300 and 400 level. So all students take English 320, Introduction to English Studies. We have a single author requirement, and we regularly offer Chaucer, Shakespeare, and Milton, but we also have other offerings as well. Jane Austen, Albert Wendt, Toni Morrison, Karente Yamashita. So it all depends on what professors put proposals in for. And so recently we had a Karente Yamashita class, which was really exciting to me to have an Asian American single author course. But Albert Wendt is great. And we'll have a Hawaiian Lit single author course as well soon. You're also asked to take 3 courses on 3 historical periods. Pre-1700, 1898 to 1700 to 1898, and 1898 to the present. And then you have a studies requirement, which is our capstone course. And in that course, there's a research component where you write like a 15-page paper. So that would be kind of like the courses that graduating students take. And 5 English courses are electives at the 300 and 400 levels. So and for the minor, so those of you who are interested in minoring in English, we have 5 upper division courses required for the minor in English. English 320, again, of course, all majors and minors must take. A single author course, and 3 electives at the 300 and 400 levels. Okay, so next steps. So if you're at a community college and you've taken English 100, you can take a 270 level course, either 270, 271, 272, or 273. These are our introduction to literature courses, and they have different areas of specialization. So if you're really into creative writing, English 273 is Introduction to Literature and Creative Writing. So you can find all of these courses on our department website. And I'm going to take you quickly to our department website since I have a little bit of time. Just to let you know, this is my contact information, Fujikane at hawaii.edu, and Valerie Jun is vjun@hawaii.edu. So I'm going to just take you quickly. I'm going to come out of this presentation, but let's see, I'll escape. Okay, and then there's my cursor. Okay, and let me see if I can get into the English major. I'm gonna go, so if you wanna check out our English major website, you can just type in UHM English, takes you straight to this, and you can go to our website. And we have a lot of information here, so if you're thinking about majoring in English, please check out this website. We have information on our courses. All our course descriptions are now going up for spring semester 2021. And if you have not taken a 200 level course, you would need to take this 270 level courses before you get into English 320. So this is okay, so the descriptions are not up yet. They just put them up. So faculty members are slowly uploading their course descriptions and not all of them have gone up yet. Okay, but it shows you the courses we offer for the semester. Our course rotation shows you how often courses are offered. So for example, if you wanted to take creative writing, which is English 313, you can see that it's offered every semester, every fall and every spring. Introduction to English Studies, every fall and spring. Other courses, say like our Hawaiian literature course, let's see, Native Hawaiian literature in English is offered every spring. Very popular folklore and oral traditions, odd springs, and popular literature, odd springs. So we have really a range of courses and a range of the kinds of things that students decide to focus in on. We also have set courses, like upcoming courses. We know for sure that these will be the courses offered in fall and spring, and they are the single author and studies courses. But you can see information here on our internship program. So this is Zach Chan, who got a job immediately out of completing the internship program. And we also have other things like the honors program, if you're interested in the honors program. We have some information on scholarships under student opportunities. And you can go to the, let's see, counseling and career opportunities. Oh, maybe, I'm sorry, oh, financial aid, other financial aid scholarship opportunities website. Okay, and we also have another thing that's really cool is you can study abroad and earn Mānoa credits while taking classes in another country. So you could go to, oh, we have students who went to Italy and to Paris. We have a regular London study abroad. And it's just so amazing for students to study the literatures of the place where they're actually in. So it's really nice. They do these London walking tours. So you get to see Dickens' house and, great, thank you. So this is the study abroad academic advising, which is really cool. So, so that is also another cool thing about our department. But I think that that's it. And I really hope that you will consider transferring to our English department. And I'm sorry, I haven't been checking out the questions in the chat box. I was just trying to finish off, and let's see. Okay, so this is great. So thank you so much for posting the English department website. I don't know if you have any questions.
So I didn't see any questions coming through. I think you were very clear with how this program would work and the different opportunities. Can you talk a little bit more about your current students and what I'm assuming that you work directly with them, and what makes someone choose English? Like, what are you seeing of your current students right now?
Well, mostly a lot of times what it is they'll take an undergraduate literature course at the 200 level, the 270 courses, and they will be infected with the enthusiasm of their instructors. So we have very passionate professors in our department. And so, and I would say, I think I'm one of them. And we have this passion for literature. We love stories. And stories sound kind of like insubstantial. They're just fiction, but they actually show us important things about human behavior. So we have students who end up going into medicine, who become doctors, who have heard that it's important to take English as a major in order to go into medicine, because you end up reading your patients like you would read a text. A lot of times when patients come in, there are things that they won't say. And so they do encourage students who are going into medicine and law to take some kind of literatures of Hawaii kind of course, because when you read about different communities, Pacific Islander communities, you learn about different ways of what kinds of things are told and what kinds of things may not automatically be spoken out loud, and how to read for those kinds of cues. So it's interesting. Yeah, I always think it's fascinating that we have students going, wanting to be doctors who are majoring in English. And Amy is a former English major too. So happy that she's like a transfer counselor now. A lot of students love manga. They love manga, right? They love anime and manga. One student, Rei Kurahara, actually did a manga panel for her application, and she got into graduate school at Brown University, which is an Ivy League school. And it's just really exciting to see them experimenting with manga and the retelling of Hawaiian mo'olelo, or things like, we have students who they love the sciences. They don't necessarily want to be conducting the experiment, so they become technical writers for the sciences. And so we have a student named KAE who's also working in a lab as a technical writer. And just a lot of students interested in nonprofit organizations. So they're activists, you know, and they see being an executive director for, say, like the Sierra Club. Marty Townsend is just an amazing attorney for the Sierra Club. And you can see how then if you become an attorney, oh my goodness, I know so many students who started out as attorneys and now are Liana Besugawa is the executive director for the Board of Education. And another friend of mine who was a grant writer is now an executive. She's some kind of she works with funding for Lanakila Hospital. But, oh, and Leanne is also an attorney for Hawaiian Electric. So she's had different careers. And, you know, it gives her, I think that grounding in English and law gave her a really good kind of foundation for all of these different executive positions. But, you know, it's all everyone who loves stories and, you know, again, you know, thinking about climate change and how stories can teach us about how our ancestors dealt with climate change, not just in Hawaii, but in other parts of the world.
Absolutely, thank you. Amy, do you want to share a little bit about your experience or anything like that?
Yeah, definitely. So just like Candice mentioned, you know, I think the passion that a lot of English professors has, like, can really hook students in. Like, I found myself at Petaluma Community College just taking all of the literature courses, following this one professor through it, Donna Oshiro. She's fantastic.
That's great.
Yeah. And then, you know, she talked to me about like, hey, do you want to pursue English in the future? I'm like, yeah, I think I do. And so found even more cool professors at Manoa. I took classes from Craig Sanchez Perez, Craig Howes, and Kennedy when she was teaching the screenwriting course. So sounds like she hasn't come back yet. Screenwriting hasn't come back yet. But yeah, it's just a great opportunity to have English as your foundation, and you can really go anywhere from there. So after I got my BA in English, I went on to the College of Education. I got my master's in Education Administration. Yeah, it's really great. I highly recommend English department and the College of Education. That's kind of secretly why I brought them both together today.
Thank you. Thanks, Amy, for sharing. I was just wondering, just wanted to extend Kehao, Christy, Lachey, if you have any questions for Candice, feel free to chat it. But while they're, if they do have questions, I will ask a question in the chat. Candice, will the English department offer an MFA in the future?
That's a great question. That's a great question. I am not sure. You know, we are one of the only universities that offers a PhD in creative writing. So that is one of our distinguishing characteristics of our graduate program. But I'm not sure about the MFA, so I would have to, I'd have to ask about that. But that's a great question.
Thank you.
Sorry, I have to ask for my mom. She wants to pursue an MFA, but wants to be in Hawaii for it. So every year I talk to an English professor, I'm like, is there going to be an MFA yet? So.
That's a great question. I'm not exactly sure what the rationale is. I kind of remember that discussion coming up, and it was tied to our having a PhD in English. But yeah, I'll go ahead and ask.
Thank you.
And my husband's a teacher. He's actually a resource teacher in the Windward district. So we have both sides of it. And I love education. Like I actually took over his class for a little bit, and I saw how much work it is, but it was exciting and it was fun to work with the little ones. He had
Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Candice, and thank you, Alyssa, for partnering with us, the students of the community colleges, and for presenting today. We really appreciate it. Jordan, Amy, did you have anything?
I think Amy's gonna wrap us up. I could see her moving her mouse through her eyes. So.
Sorry. But yes, thank you so much to Candice and Alyssa for presenting today and for sharing with us about the College of Education and the English department. Again, both my home camp or departments, so really appreciate that. For the folks in the audience, our next transfer workshop is going to be next week, October 27th, and we'll be having the Scheidler College of Business and the School of Travel Industry Management joining us. So please check out our series of the Transfer Tuesdays webinars on leeward.hawaii.edu/CTW.